it enough, you will find a way to get there, to learn it. So even though I didn't know anything about cars, I had complete confidence in myself that I would be able to learn. And the way I saw it as well is there's a bunch of crap and useless stuff that's taught in universities and college. If you actually want to learn something, we're in the 21st century. YouTube and books are out there so that you don't have to depend on a formal, traditional educational system. You don't have to depend on a school to learn something. You can actually learn a lot, if not everything, by yourself or from these sources in a fraction of the time, because you're not going to have to deal with all that crap, the added nonsense that's in the universities and the schools. And plus there's the cost as well. So the way I saw university as my future, at the end of 4 or 5, maybe 6 years, I would be somebody 6 years older that didn't have a profession, that didn't have something that they enjoyed to do, that didn't have any money, because university costs money and it costs time. I would have spent at least 2 or 3 of those years studying stuff that's useless, that I didn't like, and at the end of the day, all I would have was a piece of paper that said I was something that I already knew I was. And again, you don't need a piece of paper to prove that you're something. If you can fix cars, you're a mechanic. Back then, there weren't schools, there weren't colleges, and there were still mechanics. Right? You don't need a piece of paper to prove who you are. And at the end of the day, what I saw was that I would be somebody with a piece of paper, and I would have to work an office job, which I certainly wouldn't like. But there's certainly different ways of achieving something. Maybe if I had gone to university and spent those years there and got a normal job, I maybe made a lot of money through that formal education, and then maybe 1 year after that, save up all that money and then start the business, maybe it would have worked. Again, there's more than one way to achieve something, and I always give the example of an airplane. There's 2 ways. Let's say you want to own an airplane. There's 2 ways you can get there. You can either work really hard for a few years and buy the airplane, or you can study and search how to make the airplane and actually build the airplane. And I started through that method. You can either pay somebody to teach you how to fix cars, or you can go to school, or you can actually learn it the hard way, you could say. But anything that you want to learn takes time, and there's a saying in business, time is money and money is time. So for all the time that I spent learning how to fix cars, I first started working on my own cars before working on anybody else's car, unless it was something that I was 100% sure how to do. And again, like I said, I struggled in the beginning because people would judge me by my age and by where I lived. So those things definitely came in the way, and they made it really hard to get clients. And without clients, you can't get YouTube videos, and the way I saw it, without YouTube videos, you can't get clients either. Today, I actually have a pretty good database on YouTube, to the point where I've actually had clients that hired me through YouTube, through my YouTube channel. They liked the videos, they liked the explanations, they liked that the transparency that I showed everything, all the repairs. And so I actually had a few clients that got my work through YouTube channel indirect. But in the beginning, I didn't have any videos and I didn't have any clients. And I worked odd jobs in construction, and the money that I got in construction, I would use it to buy tools and pay for my bills, such as car insurance, which is not cheap when you're young. And so I spent all those years just learning. During that time also wrote the mathematics textbook. It's like we're getting an issue with the camera again. So I'll see you in part 4, the next part.